are now listening to the NYYST podcast.
Welcome back. This is episode 194 of the NYYST podcast. I am your host, Christian, and I'm joined by my co-host, Chris.
Yo!
And I don't know, where is he?
He's
bro?
running
Seriously.
behind, dude. You gotta cut him some slack.
Bro,
okay, you had technical difficulties
for almost a half hour, and he's still not here.
Dude, I mean, he lives down the road, but you gotta cut him some slack.
And not to mention, we've actually given him 24 hours plus a half hour because we're recording Monday night instead of Sunday.
And it sucks too. It sucks because we got a special guest, and he's doing this in game, right? So, of course, Ryan's not here, but
one of these days before Gardy signs off for good, we're gonna get Ryan and Gardy in the same room together.
Oh, absolutely.
The Yankees are playing in Buffalo right now. They're down 9-1. It's not looking good for the Yankees to, possibly win this game. But Gardy's going to join us in game right now. Gardy, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, hey guys. Oh, look, we got to be a little bit quiet. Booney's at the other end of the dugout. He doesn't know I'm doing this. Shh.
Oh, this is on the down low.
Yeah, don't say anything. I'm gonna get in trouble.
I won't say DL. I know that's not accepted anymore.
Yeah, we don't say that term no more.
What's up, Gardy? What's going on in this game? Can you at least break down this game right now? We got a 9-1 deficit.
Well, look, sometimes we're gonna go out there. We're gonna pull a little clunker. I mean, we got 3 hits or 6 here, 5 innings. Oh boy, Judge. Oh, that was a little bit low, Blue. All right. Well, I mean, look. I mean, we're competing, and game's not over here yet, guys. We still got time.
Gardy, you son of a bitch! You stuck a clunker out there on Sunday too, bro. Now this is 2 in a row.
Well, man, look, guys. I mean, we just won 10 in a row for you. What more you want?
Wow.
And then you went that preceded 5 and 15. So I mean, you want to keep going down this road, Gardy?
Well, look,
I mean, serious.
Well, let's not forget that we did clinch a playoff spot, and that's the main goal here is to get there. And once we're there, we're in. And
but Gardy, now that you've clinched, because it does seem like you guys clinch, and now it's almost like you guys don't care right now. Do you change the way you play the game,
Chris? If it sounds like you're asking me if we're still playing hard out there, and the answer's we're playing hard.
Always playing.
Gardy.
Play
welcome
hard.
to the land of 200, bro. It only took you till the end of September to get your average over 200.
All right, thanks for that one, Christian. I see you're in good mood tonight.
And I mean, you got the balls to tell people you want to play next year.
I'm coming back next year, guys.
Gardy, we were just talking about it before.
Not on this podcast.
Yeah, I'll be on San Diego Sports Talk down there with the Padres or something.
We were just talking about it before. Since Clint Frazier has really solidified himself as an everyday player now, the Yankees have really no risk right now of re-signing you so you can get the proper goodbye, hoping that fans are in the stadium next year. Do you hope you get that? Do you still think that it's even possible that you could outplay and outbid Clint Frazier?
Proper goodbye, Chris. I mean, who's to say next year's going to be my last, Chris? I could be here another few more years, so I'm not even going to think about that. I'm not going to think about 2021 until we get through 2020 here. And, we got a season to focus on here, Chris, and I'm not really worried about where I'm going to play next year because right now I'm docking the pinstripes, so that's all that matters right now. And you quote me on that.
Honestly, I don't really care what you do next year. To be honest with you, you're lucky that Mike Tauchman sucks because now it's possible. Yeah, you heard me. You're lucky that Mike Tauchman sucks because now maybe there's a chance for you to be a 4th outfielder next year. But I really don't care about 2021. I talked to Chris and we decided to bring you on today because we want to know why you're stealing shit from Clint Frazier. He took your job and now you're going to rob his turtlenecks?
Well,
what's that about?
Hey, you're going to steal something from me. I'm going to steal something from you. You take my job over there in left field. I'm taking that turtleneck.
Gardy, did you have any concern with COVID when you took the turtleneck? Weren't you concerned with COVID? I mean,
no. I mean, look, hey, if I was concerned, I probably would have taken his mask too, right?
That's true.
Which I might actually do. They might confuse me for, they call him Red Thunder. With my bald head, you gonna start calling me Grease Lightning.
What do you use to shave that head, by the way? Because this Gardy Report is brought to you by Manscaped. If you head to manscaped.com, you use promo code NYYST20, you save 20% off, and you get free shipping. Do you use the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0 for your head? Because you get a tight shave.
It's tough when you're off the farm over there in Holly Hill. You miss the lawnmower, but having this thing here, I mow down my head, and it's like I feel like I'm right back home. So it's it helps for when I'm homesick. I'll just pull out my Manscaped lawnmower razor and I pop it on my head.
I love it.
Oh God, guys, this is a rough night for me.
Christian really doesn't seem to care much about you.
And no, because I'm paying attention to the team more than Gardy is. Gardy, that was a 1, 2, 3, 6th inning. I don't think Booney's too happy with you doing the interview, so we're gonna let you go.
All right, guys, I'll see how it is. Listen, we got only a couple. What? How many games left we got, guys?
After tonight, you have 6 games left.
6 games. Oh, and Stack Guy Ride just showed up too, so that's good.
Oh. All right, well, maybe I should stay for him. Nah, I gotta go. Guys, the inning just ended, guys. I'm going back out there. Take it easy.
Later, Gardy. All right, Gardy Report brought to you by Manscaped, who's the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Head to manscaped.com. Use promo code NYYST20. Get 20% off and free shipping. That's manscaped.com, NYYST20, for 20% off your entire order and free shipping. Look for that Lawnmower 3.0. Your balls will thank you.
So, Rye, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Sorry, I was late. The traffic was brutal tonight.
You went right up. You come from down the road.
Yeah.
Were you using your Manscaped? Is that why you were late?
Yeah, actually, I didn't. I just didn't want to admit it.
Ryan's got a cute date tonight.
I do. After the pod, I had to freshen up, and it's so quick and easy that I wanted to get it done tonight.
I hope you use the crop preserver too.
I absolutely use. That's why I'm late. I was done, manscaping about an hour ago, but for the past hour, I've just been dazzling and dabbling over there with that. What'd you call it?
With the Lawnmower 3.0.
Right, the Lawnmower 3.0, yeah.
Listen.
Quality product.
If you guys want us to do more in-game Gardy Reports, head over to iTunes. If you listen to us on iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating and review. Let us know. And also let us know what you think of the Yankees clinching a berth and what it's going to mean to not play these games at home. What is it? Outside of the first round, after the first round, it's going to be in the bubble, right?
It's in a bubble.
What kind of bubble are we talking? Because I've been all over the place. It was my wife's 31st birthday. Happy birthday to my amazing wife.
Happy birthday.
Who was pregnant for her 30th. So we threw her a huge weekend away in the Poconos with a bunch of us. Christian couldn't make it because he pulled a Stack Guy Rye. But Stack Guy Rye was there. And we drank. And
I have a 4-month-old that I can't leave with anybody because she wakes up 9 times in the middle of the night screaming.
Yeah, I know what that's like. I know what it's like, man. It's not easy. But happy birthday to my wife.
Yeah, I mean, she won't listen because now we're going to say nice things about her. But if we call her, what do you want to? I was going to say something, but I don't think I should say it.
No, you shouldn't. And I'm going to be honest with you. Jack, my 3-year-old son, Jack, he looked at my wife yesterday. And they were fighting over something, like joking around. And he goes, "Well, you're a whore." Yeah. Called my wife a whore.
Called his own mother a whore.
Called his own mother a whore. He's only 3. This is not a joke.
Well, you know what? He knows who she's been sleeping with. So
Wow. And I guess at that point, as a responsible parent, you got to kind of hide the laugh a little because it was pretty funny. But you also got to let him know that you can't call your mother a whore. And now he won't say it ever again.
Mommy, use a whore.
I just want to know where he heard it from. You know?
Definitely.
Is someone calling my wife a whore behind her back and Jack thinks that's like a good thing?
Daddy, the guy at the grocery store called Mommy a whore today.
Well, my other daughter, my 8-year-old Leah, she tells me all the guys that flirt with my wife. Like, she'll be like, "Oh, Mommy, that's the gas station where the guy flirts with you." You know, so maybe Jack's starting to pick up on these things now.
Oh, maybe your wife shouldn't be hitting on guys at the gas station.
Also agree. I think everyone's to blame here. I don't think you
now
can point fingers.
I'm retracting the happy birthday, Meg. I mean, like, you're hitting up buying guys at the Exxon. That's not really
it's
cool.
not okay. And the Dunkin' Donuts, apparently.
Okay. Is it at the Dunkin' Donuts Exxon combo, or is it
No,
like Exxon and? Oh, it's
two
two
separate.
different spots.
Correct.
Oh, jeez. And you threw this amazing getaway weekend for her, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get some gas and some donuts, and I'm gonna scheme on dudes on the way."
Correct. Can I tell a quick story before we get into things?
But we can't have road hose, right?
No road hose. I got to tell this story. It's a serious story, but I got to tell it because it was just wild.
Serious?
It's serious. So it's Saturday night going into Sunday. Sunday's when we're all checking out. And it's about 6:15 in the morning. And I wake up to this massive explosion in the Poconos. And the entire house is rattling. And I'm like, what
I'm definitely glad I didn't go.
Dude, I was like, what the fuck was that? I go running out. I thought like something blew up in the backyard. Nothing was there. You start hearing a million firefighters and cops going by. Turns out a few hours later, we tracked down some of the fire trucks, and we get to the destination, and the house about a mile away is completely demolished. And then when the article came out, we found it. We were in Hawley, PA. This lady just had her 500-gallon propane tank filled. And the company who filled it, it's under investigation. Something leaked, and it fucking blew up while she was sleeping. Thankfully, she was airlifted to the nearest hospital with third-degree burns, but thankfully she was alive. But it was one of the craziest things ever. And I just wanted to give her a shout out and hope that she's recovering, because that was just absolutely insane that we were a mile away and felt it. I couldn't imagine.
I'll be right back.
I couldn't imagine being in that home and surviving that.
I slept through it.
Well, you and a few of our other friends slept in the basement, which was a game room, which was fucking incredible. Yeah. Right? First of all, Ryan is the greatest Guitar Hero player of all time. They had an arcade Guitar Hero. And then we played ping pong.
Picked it up like riding a bike, too.
Riding a bike. He played on expert. I was on easy. He still got killed. Yeah. And then we played ping pong, which we are by far, we're definitely better than average ping pong players.
We're a good brother tandem.
But no one else.
We're above average.
No one else could even come close to us. We were playing crazy tournaments. I only beat you 3 times out of like 50 games, but those 3 games meant the most because we were in a serious tournament.
I didn't want to lose that best of 7 series.
Because then I would have said I was better than you.
Right, I know.
But anyway, Ryan didn't feel it. He was in the bomb shelter bunker.
Yeah.
Down there. Know. But I had to tell you. I mean, it's just a crazy story.
You mean to tell me that somebody blew up a house, but they weren't digging a pond and hit a gas line?
Well, listen. We were... The night before is when you texted us that tweet that someone was trying to send, I saw it on Twitter, I guess. Someone was trying to send the president a package of ricin, and you retweeted it with the Walter White stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, what do we have, a Walter White MO going on? And then we all thought maybe it was a fucking meth house, like a meth lab in the house, and it just fucking blew up. And I said it would be on par with the current narrative. Ricin, meth lab, but... It doesn't seem to be a meth lab. It seemed to be an innocent older lady.
So what Yes just showed, it's apparently the 12-year anniversary of the final game at the old Yankee Stadium.
Really? Great speech.
Yes.
Great speech by the captain that night.
Who hit the final home run in Yankee history at that ballpark?
It was Molina. I think. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, if you would have been able to guess that during the game, you wouldn't. You're gonna have to color your hair, bro.
I did guess Molina. I did get that one.
I thought Molina was first at the new one.
No, Molina was the last.
That's another catcher.
That was Posada.
See.
Right.
Posada was the first. Okay. Molina was the last.
How about we manscape your head instead of dyeing it?
I would actually I would prefer that.
I forgot about that shit.
Because you're moving in a few weeks. We got to get this shit over with.
That's true. I am moving. I'm moving down to South Jersey, man. I can't wait to get the fuck out of here.
So what are we going to do? We're going to go back to virtual, the three of us probably?
Yeah, but we're going to have a better setup.
You can drive down there every day if you want to.
We're going to have a better setup. We're all going to have
If we do it on
good
Saturdays,
cameras.
if we do it on Saturdays, I would, but not on a Sunday.
Yeah, we're all going to have better cameras. We're going to record our audio, be able to do it remotely, so everything's great quality. We're going to get Christian and you a fucking Wi-Fi extender so your Wi-Fi doesn't suck, and we'll be fucking up and running. We got a couple weeks left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm just going to X out of this Yankee game at this point. You can...
Grichuk just made it 10-1.
I mean, Christian could just keep us updated at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you don't like the Yankees going winning 10 in a row and then laying two stinkers back to back.
Yeah, but you do like that they clinched at least.
What do you call it? As we get the show actually underway here and start rolling, the Yankees did clinch Sunday, right? Today's Monday. I'm so confused.
Today is Monday, yes.
The Yankees clinched. They got the backdoor clinch, I guess you can say, or they snuck in the back door. The Padres beat the Mariners, which gave the Yankees the berth into the postseason. The Yankees lost to the Red Sox. What was the final yesterday? 10-2 or something like that?
Yeah, 10-1, 10-2.
I mean, what an atrocious day for New York sports on Sunday. Yeah, they lost 10-2. Eric Kratz made his, I don't know, he made his Yankee pitching debut. I'm not sure if he ever pitched before in the major leagues. He's got a pretty solid knuckleball.
Did you see that knuckleball?
I actually didn't. I missed the entire game yesterday because I was driving the whole day.
I mean, there's really nothing that you needed to see.
I know.
Did you hear that one of his former teammates for the Pirates, they were thrown together one day back in the day when they were both in the system, and he was throwing the knuckleball, and he said, "I swear this pitch can get someone out in the show."
Wow.
Turns out he was right.
Wow.
It was a nice pitch, dude. It wasn't spinning. That was a dipper of a.
Is Eric Kratz still better than Sanchez? What's the verdict right now on Sanchez? Do we like him? Does he suck?
Who?
Sanchez.
I don't know. There's a lot we got to unpack here regarding the catching situation, but let's get into this first. The Yankees are in. I mean, just remarkable that 2 weeks ago we were actually questioning whether or not this team would actually make the postseason when they were 21-21. They're going to fall to 8 over now. They got back to their high water mark at 10 over. There's still things left to play for. There's still 6 games left in the season after tonight. I mean, they're down 10-1 in the 6th. This is probably going to be one of those games where they, you can just chalk this up to an L here.
Yeah.
They got it right now. Let me check the scores as we're sitting here around 9:30 on Monday night. The Rays are beating the Mets, so the Mets aren't going to offer any help for the Yankees in their faint chances of getting the AL East because the Mets are trashed them.
Does that piss you off that the Yankees aren't going to win the division?
Not really.
Do you think the Rays are a better team than the Yankees, or do you think it was really just came down to just a shitty stretch at a shitty time for the Yankees?
Yeah.
It was just
I don't know.
Bad timing.
The Rays played the Yankees at the most opportune time for them, for Rays, I should say. Although the Yankees, I don't know. They had Garrett Cole on the mound a couple of times against the Rays, so there's not a lot of excuses there when you throw Tanaka and Cole out there against the Rays. But the Twins are off tonight. Right now, even before this game is officially over, the Twins are sitting in the 4th spot due to a higher winning percentage. The Yankees have a game in hand after tonight still, I believe. They'll have one extra game to play. I believe if they finish tied, unless the Yankees really, I don't know what it is exactly, but as of this weekend, if they finish tied, the Yankees would get the series at home due to a better divisional record. I don't know how that would change now that they lost. We're just gonna say they lost tonight. If they surprise us and come back here in the final 3 innings, that'll be a good thing. But now they lost back-to-back division games. I don't know how that's changed. But
regardless, they're lined up right now to play the Twins.
it's important that they finish ahead of the Twins.
Yeah,
they need
I
this
agree.
series to happen at Yankee Stadium because I believe again, I don't know how this updated since Saturday, but Saturday, do you know who had the second best home record in Major League Baseball, or at least the American League? Do you know who had the second best home record?
The Twins?
The New York Yankees. You know, had the best home record.
The Twins. I thought it
The
was going to be the
Twins.
other way around.
The Yankees East record after tonight, if they do lose, is 22-15. The Twins right now 21-17.
Do we have home road records on there?
Games
or no?
better in the loss. Yeah, we got no.
No, they don't have it on there.
Might be in the standard one.
What'd you say that
all
was,
right, all right.
Christian?
Home,
as of
home.
Saturday?
They were they're 21-7 at home.
Because I was in and out on the Yankees yesterday. They were getting blitzed early, and I was checking in on the football too. So it was
Minnesota,
definitely Saturday.
Minnesota has just 5 losses at home this year. They're 21-5.
All right, so we've had Sweeney Murdy on the show before, and I don't want to bash Sweeney, but this is a pretty stupid tweet here. I also don't want to be disrespectful to the Minnesota Twins reporter for MLB.com. I'm going to say his name how I think it should be pronounced, Do Hung Park.
Chan-Ho Park?
No, it's not Chan-Ho Park. Tweeted earlier today that the Twins have beaten Bieber, Giolito, and Darvish in 3 consecutive series, and then Sweeney tweets, "Keep this in mind if it's Cole versus the Twins next week."
Listen,
am I supposed to be scared?
No, and this
am I
is
supposed to be scared by that? Like,
no, and it's no disrespect to the Twins, like you said, but you got to look at the history, man. Even when the Twins are a great ball club, they're the Yankees are the Minnesota Twins kryptonite, and the Twins are the Yankees medicine to just when they need a win, you play the Twins. That's it.
Well, Cone was saying, what his mom, Joan Cone, believes in do.
Yeah.
It's probably been. So it's been what? I think since 2009 was probably, or did they sweep in 2009? No, they swept. When's the last time the Twins won a friggin' playoff?
I tweeted it last year.
Series.
Yeah, I tweeted it last year how many games the Yankees had on them in the playoffs. But to me, if 2020 could ever be the shittiest it's ever going to be, it would be the Yankees losing to the Twins for the first time ever in a playoff series.
But I don't get Sweeney's tweet, dude. Like, what's the point of saying that? Oh, they beat 3 aces, so now Cole should be rocking in his boots. Like, oh, please, Skip, don't throw me against the Twins. They beat you, Darvish, last night.
Or maybe he was saying, like, keep that in mind for when Cole pitches. If Cole fucking mows him down, he might be one of the.
I think he was just trying to say, like, hey, Yankee fans, be scared. The Twins beat 3 aces already.
You're just not going to be scared of the Twins, first of all. And second of all, when you have a guy like Garrett Cole on the mound, you're just not scared of anyone. Want to know why? Because he's not scared of anyone.
I don't think the Twins have the pitching anything can happen in a 3-game series, especially if the Yankees are going to be on the road. I just don't see the Twins having the starting pitching to beat the Yankees, and that's what it's going to come down to. If the Yankees are going to throw out Cole and Tanaka in games 1 and 2,
well, let's say the season's on the line, and you got to throw out a third pitcher, man. This is one of our topics here. Who is that guy for you right now?
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I ran a poll last night, and this is what we're going to get into right now. If Game 3 of the wild card round, the season's on the line, and I picked the perfect time to do this because recency bias is awesome.
It's awesome. I love it. I love exploiting it.
And who do you want to start that game, Happ or Davy Garcia? Did you see the results of the poll?
I did somewhat because I did vote. But before we get to the results, can you tell me who you would choose, and can we go around on who we would choose? And we're allowed to say, like, we need to see one more start from each of them.
Yeah, as of right now. It's funny that I just picked on people that recency bias, but I think I'm a lot more level-headed than a lot of people on Twitter are. And I don't know, man. I think I got to give the ball to Happ. Short leash, though.
Yeah.
Super short leash.
And read your tweet, because your tweet was a little more specific than just saying Game 3, wasn't it? With the season on the line at this point.
Well, yeah, Game 3.
Oh, right. It's only best of 2. Right. It's only best of 3. So, for me, I actually voted Garcia, but I think I was a little premature in clicking that because they'll each get one more start.
Yeah, because it's going to be Cole Tanaka, and then I believe it's going to be Garcia or Happ Garcia, and then they'll probably go Montgomery to close out the season. And isn't this, you hate Jordan Montgomery, so you're probably in love with the fact. You're probably in love with the fact that he's not even really in consideration for the Game 3 start.
No, I don't hate Jordan Montgomery, but he doesn't have that blowaway stuff. And I think that's the reason why he wouldn't be considered right now. I don't think he's really pitched bad this year, but he never has that blowaway stuff.
He's definitely 5 out of 5.
Yeah, and for me, I chose Garcia because, again, in reality, I need to see one more start. But for me right now, I'm handing the ball off to the kid who's going to be my future, and to the kid who has proven, he might have had a bad start his last time out, but he's proven that he's not fazed by anything. And you know what? I think handing the ball to a kid like that, who's on top of the world and has all the confidence in the world, you're going to get a much better result than a guy who has the weight of the world on his shoulders in J Happ, where he knows he's expected to be that veteran out there who is going to mow it down and whatever. The only reason why it's tough to say right now is because J Happ has really been that good. I mean, how quickly things change.
I don't know. You want to call it a dust up, or he had that altercation, not even the word. When he got smart with the media, when he said, "Figure it out, why I'm not pitching."
Yeah, he stirred the pot.
Since then, outside of the Met game where he blew that 4-0 lead, he's been really good.
And even in that game, I know the circumstances sucked. He blew a 4-0 lead, but he only gave up 4 runs. And you take that every day out of Happ. Didn't he go 7 innings that game, or 6 innings?
He might have pitched 5, to be honest with you.
Well, regardless, are you not taking as what you expect out of Happ? Are you not taking 4 runs out of him when he goes out there?
But in a winner-take-all game, your season's on the line.
Well, exactly.
The bar has been raised now.
Exactly. And I think for me, if I'm going to lose that, I'm thinking of it more of if I'm going to lose that game, I don't want to lose it with the guy on the mound who has proven that he's definitely fallen off. And yeah, he's had a great season. He really picked it up in his last handful of starts. He's been amazing. Mm-hmm. But you know what? If I'm going to lose it, I want to lose it with my future on the mound right now, and a kid who I think the world of, and I know the Yankees do. For me, I'm going Garcia. But again, it's got to come down to that final start.
The reason I would go with Happ is experience. Is the fact that he has that experience. And when off the top of my head, when you think of that young pitcher that hasn't proven himself getting the ball in at least the first round of the playoffs, I'm thinking of Sean Manaea last year. I think it was Sean Manaea for Oakland against the Yankees, and it was quick. He was giving up dinger after dinger against New York. He was pulled. I don't even know if he made it out of that first inning. If Davey's going to go out there, it's going to be...
Sean Manaea...
That was 2 years ago.
That might have been 2 years ago. Oh, yeah, because they won the division. They won the division last year, so it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, but he didn't pitch in the wild card game. He was injured.
He did. He pitched.
Oakland won with an opener in the wild card.
All right,
game.
well then maybe it was it was last year's wild card game. Then it was the Oakland Athletics and they lost.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
He didn't pitch against the Yankees. I know that.
All right, yeah, it was that first round wild card game, and he got lit up. I could see that happening with Garcia, especially against a power group like that, where like if he goes out and he pitches the way he did against Boston, where he's leaving everything up, it's going to be 5-0 by the end of the first inning. So I'm going with the more reliable guy. I know Happ gave up a lot of home runs last year, but I'll take the chance on Happ, and if he's really struggling, short leash, you go right to Chad Green in the first or second inning, but it's the experience that gives Happ the edge for me, and his play of late and this entire year has been very, very good. He's been arguably the best starter for the Yankees this year.
I think you can argue, too, that depending on who they're playing, I mean, we know Garcia has some electric stuff and then has that really nasty changeup where you can really play matchup and say, look, which pitcher is going to match up with this lineup better, depending on, their weaknesses.
Well, here, let's go to some of the comments here. At Mr. Wyclef tweets, Happ, the Twins are slugging under 400 versus left-handed pitching this year. He says, although that does come with the caveat that Josh Donaldson hasn't played this year. But
No, that makes sense.
Said, you want to look at matchups, they're slugging under 400 against lefties.
You know, I always forget Happ's a lefty, and that play definitely is going to play a big role.
I will say this, though, with the Twins. I was looking into that to see if there was some more to it. Look at the at-bat totals the Twins have versus righty. They have 1,287 at-bats.
Guys, we're back in it. The Yankees got to run.
They have 1,287 at-bats against righties. They only have 483 at-bats versus lefties. So you can't measure are they better against lefties versus righty when it's that big of a discrepancy in the totals. That's triple the amount.
But you got to look at
that they haven't seen a lot of lefties, so maybe that also works to the Yankees' advantage in that situation.
And you still can take it in isolation there, where you say, okay, they haven't faced a lot of lefties, but when they did, they really haven't had any success.
Yeah, but they're still a pretty damn good team against lefties. 11 home runs.
If you're gonna prorate those numbers and compare them to the to versus righties, it's not going to compare.
No, it wouldn't. Not in the power number. So, yeah.
I tried to rip the radio out of my car today when Kay was making that point. It's 2.7 for every win. Like, shut up. It's not.
But then you have guys like Nelson Cruz and Josh Donaldson in that lineup against lefties. One bad pitch, so it's a tough move. You could even see them going with Chad Green over both of those guys and just go opener.
You could,
yeah,
but you don't want to do that with no days off.
Here's what I wanted to bring up next, because we're going to read some more comments here and react off of those. One of you said that quick hook go right to Chad Green, right? So at Yankees Libero 7 tweets Happ, but you have Garcia caddy him. No,
you can't do that.
With Cole going game 1, you're anticipating you're using one reliever. You're going Cole to Chapman in game 1.
You have to. You have to anticipate that.
You have to. You can't really look at it thinking anything else that because if you want Cole to get you into the 8th inning, and you're not gonna dick around. You're gonna go right to your closer at that point.
And you're saying Chapman for like 2 innings. Maybe
an inning in the third.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll tell you what.
With Tanaka will need some bullpen help. If he gives you 6, you're going to take it and go to the bullpen. So you'll still have your rested bullpen for game 3. So Chad Green should be ready to go at a moment's notice. And honestly, if Happ gives up, he gets nicked for 2 runs in the first inning, and he's got runners on the corners with 1 out. I'm going to Chad Green. There's absolutely no way I'm bringing in Davy Garcia at that point. Maybe you want Davy Garcia to give you a couple runs there, but he's not my first option out of the bullpen.
Hear me out for a second. Let's say the Yankees win game 1, and not only win it, but Garrett Cole, like we just said, goes 8 innings. We don't use anyone out of the bullpen except Chapman. We close out the game. Do you possibly think about saving Tanaka for if you need him for game 3, or you hope that you win game 2, you have your full bullpen loaded, and if you do, then you save Tanaka to start the next series?
No, you got to win.
I know you got to win, but you can still win with a loaded bullpen.
I don't know if you were on this show. It might have been one of the weeks that you were powdering your nose and you didn't come on. But I know Ryan and I definitely discussed this, that the possibility of saving Garrett Cole, not pitching him in game 1, you gotta win. You can't mess around.
Well, I would never think about that. I didn't say save Garrett Cole.
Yeah, but no, people have brought that up, that you don't pitch your ace in game 1.
That would be so dumb. That would be idiotic.
There's a drop off after Tanaka though, so
I'm only saying this because of the no days off.
Okay. I think Cole and Tanaka are on a different level than the rest of these guys in the rotation in terms of who you rely on and who you trust. So I don't see how you cannot go with those 2 for the first 2 games. I like how you're thinking though, but you can't plan ahead like that.
Yeah.
But if you want Tanaka for an elimination game for that game 3, but you can't look ahead too much when when your top 2 pitchers are much better than your bottom 3 pitchers.
But just hear me out
Not
for
much
a second.
better, but established.
If you win that game and don't use your bullpen in game 1, and then you go to Tanaka game 2 and he doesn't have his good stuff, which he normally does in the postseason, you got to expect that he will. And then you blow through him, and now we're in that situation where we talked about last year, where if the Yankees got to a game 7, you don't really have anyone to pitch. And yes, again, I know Happ has really turned his season around, but in that instance, because game 2, and again, it would be completely reliant upon Cole winning and going deep into that game. Wouldn't you rather have Happ or Garcia pitching game 2 where you have a fully rested bullpen? You can go right to Chad Green. You can bring guys in early like Britton and Ottavino and whoever else. And then in game 3, if you can't win that game 2, at least you have a guy on the mound that can really put down a team.
Well, why not do that in game 2? And then by the time you're ready to roll, I believe that you should be able to go to Garrett in game 1.
I understand, but what I'm saying is in game 2, if that doesn't work out, if Tanaka doesn't work out in game 2, you've blown through your bullpen now in game 2, and then in game 3, you're throwing someone out there who you don't expect to last that long. And now you don't have a fresh bullpen. Again, I understand it, and I wouldn't be saying this if it was normal circumstances of days off and not playing all these games in a row. But I'm saying it because of possibly having to adapt to this new schedule.
No.
And listen, I'm not saying that I would absolutely say yes. I'm just bringing up the point to discuss it at this point.
Yeah, you know what? If I'm up 1-0, I'm not playing games. Not in the best of 3.
Yeah, and ultimately I agree with you.
So we called Gardy out about the turtleneck, and he's still wearing the damn thing.
Is he still wearing that?
Cold out there.
Yeah, Clinch punched him in the face, bro.
He could. He'd get away with it now. He's riding high.
All right, so let's read some other tweets here about the what are we talking about? Garcia and Happ. The fact that I'm even considering starting J Happ in a fucking winner-take-all game, it makes me sick to my stomach.
I know.
I mean, it shouldn't, because I always say, like, I'd rather be wrong than right when a player sucks. So, I mean, it's a good thing that he's pitching well. I'd rather have him pitching well than pitching poorly.
Sure.
Because we didn't say this, 73% of fans voted in this poll want Happ to start game 3.
So you know what you should do? Wait until their final starts, and let's see if Garcia has a dominant start. And regardless of what Happ does, let's see if Garcia has a dominant start, and then run the poll again, rerun the same exact poll, and see if that swings the votes. I guarantee you it will.
Here's a good tweet here. Here we go. At Martin_M_Toms. Like, way too many underscores, bro. But he says, my automatic reaction is Happ. I think it's because if they were to blow it, I'd rather have Yankee fans ridicule Happ on Twitter than Davey Garcia.
Yeah, I mean, I get that too, but I do. I get that too. Like, if I'm going to hate someone, I'd rather hate the guy who then won't be here anymore than the guy who I expect to be an integral part of this rotation next season.
But how awesome would it be if he goes out and
that's how I look at it.
Throws a gem.
That's how I look at it.
You're solidifying your start.
That's absolutely how I look at it. Yeah.
All right, well, 2 more here. DJ Heat 42. Happ has redeemed himself after being called out. He's never had a chance to start another game to redeem himself after pitching in Boston. We will no doubt need Garcia to start a game eventually with no days off. So. And Don Sicario. I say Happ, and not because of Garcia's performance today, Sunday, but in my opinion, I go for experience over Happ, experience which Happ has over Garcia.
Yeah.
Hashtag the fellas.
Well, I agree with Don Sicario, and I agree with Ryan in the sense of my ultimate decision wouldn't just be based on Happ turning his season around. It would ultimately be the experience, and I think experience is such a huge part of any postseason run. So ultimately, I think I agree with that. We should have Don Sicario on the show one day. I'd love to have him on.
But you know what, too?
We got to get her weekly glory update in here, okay?
a lack of experience also means that
A little naivety.
the twin
Naivete.
the
Naivete.
veterans of the Twins haven't seen Garcia as much as they've probably
that's true
seen
too.
Happ. And the Twins are a team built on veterans. They're built on Nelson Cruz.
And we see how much
Josh
like a team
Thompson.
like the Yankees struggle when they haven't really seen a guy who's got good
and the
stuff.
Twins and Yankees are very similar teams in that sense.
Yeah.
They strike out a lot. They rely on the home run.
Yeah, that's a great point
But
too.
I still would go with Happ.
So we got to get our weekly Gloria update. So
Gloria is
here we go.
famous.
Gloria is more famous than any of us are.
Absolutely.
So, after I tweeted that the Yankees clinched, our boy at Stadium Status tweets, told Gloria there will be more baseball after the regular season ends, and she said she's happy for us losers.
Happ.
She's happy for us losers.
Thanks, Gloria. Ryan, pack your fucking bags, dude. Just kidding, Gloria.
Chris is moving. You might as well move too.
You can move down with me.
Actually, up. Ryan lives in Florida, so.
Oh, nice. No, don't leave Florida for Jersey, please.
I don't know.
Please don't. Please don't ever do that.
So I don't know. It's Florida, Jersey.
The humidity might kill me down in Florida. Like I'd probably be dead by now. But don't leave. Don't leave. Are we ready to go to our next topic here? Because I had some shots fired at me last night.
Oh, so that's cool. The Yankees get a run back, and then they immediately give to this guy who is this Alejandro Kirk, bro. He's a rather large fellow. And
Is that the guy who looks like who did we say, Ray?
Don't look, bro.
Kendrys Morales.
Whatever you do, don't say that he works at Taco Bell.
Okay, won't do that anytime soon.
All right, so ESPN. I watched a lot of the Twins and Cubs game on Sunday Night Baseball, mainly because like I just have next to zero interest in the NFL right now. I paid a little bit of attention to the Giants yesterday, but that's because it's my team, and I still really didn't even care that much.
Sucks for
But-
Barkley, by the way.
Yeah,
How
his
fucking
career's
awful,
probably done.
dude.
Yeah, I mean, torn ACLs suck. I mean,
Yeah,
you
as a
know it
running
right
back?
away.
I really like him. I think I really like him as an athlete. I think he's a great player, great guy. That really fucking sucks. And I hate the Giants,
Hope he
so for me
recovers.
to say that.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy.
Hey, Ryan, did you hear what happened in Philly yesterday?
Yeah, how the hell did that even happen that Carson Wentz gets booed without fans?
Are you kidding me?
What was it? There was
Carson
people in the
Wentz
lot?
Carson Wentz threw an interception, and the guy controlling the fake crowd noise
That's
played
awesome.
booze.
That's awesome.
Hey, they got to simulate what it would be like, right?
Listen, I called out the guy in at Camden Yards for not being realistic
Hey,
and
Chris,
not
didn't
fucking
we just
playing
say that
cheers when the Yankees hit a home run out there.
Didn't we
Yeah.
just say we're going to Chad Green right after if Happ or Garcia get in trouble
Yeah,
in game
yeah.
three?
What's he getting
Who's on
blown
the
up?
fucking mound right now?
What's he getting?
Giving up a
Fucking,
home
he's
run.
imploding.
Alejandro Kirk giving up home runs in a 10-0 ball game, 10-2 ball game.
It's all right. I still,
Chad Green
I still
has a
love
different
Green
side, though,
stuff.
to him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's got a playoff green.
Yeah, playoff green.
He doesn't manscape those balls in the postseason. That's
He's
what
got to
it
take
is.
those balls out on the mound, manscape them up, use our promo code NYYST20, and show them.
I'll tell you what. You want to do an act of solidarity on Sunday, this coming Sunday. I'll manscape, and then no more manscaping until playoffs are over.
Deal.
All right.
Deal. I'll do that too.
Same.
All right, so last night during Sunday Night Baseball, and this, I don't know why I let these things bother me, but I just thought it was so stupid.
It was.
ESPN ran a poll about the American League AL MVP, the American League AL, Jesus Christ, the AL MVP race, being redundant there, and their four choices were Jose Abreu, Nelson Cruz, Mike Trout, in a fucking pitcher, as great as he is, Shane Bieber. And, and my immediate reaction is, where the fuck is Luke Voit?
Look,
Can we just confirm how there's a fucking Yankee bias with
Yes.
with this voting?
Like at this point, though, haven't we seen enough history to know that even just for entertainment purposes on a poll like that, leave the pitcher off of it. I'm not saying Shane Bieber won't be up for MVP also, but in this instance, when you're comparing a bunch of offensive guys for entertainment purposes, why would you include Shane Bieber in that conversation over a guy like Luke Voit, who has been the talk of baseball the last few weeks?
Well, just to leave a Yankee off the list. That's why.
And so, I mean, you tweeted something. I guess you tweeted that, and then someone tweeted back at you and said, because Luke Voit isn't even the best player this year on the Yankees, it's DJ LeMahieu. And I hate him not for his argument, because I called him out on some of the shit he was saying to me. He was screenshotting that DJ had a better WAR than Luke Voit.
As a Yankee fan, that's the argument you're using,
right? And so,
because, I mean, do we have to go down the 2017
exactly
road again?
And I didn't even take it that far. All I did was I said, okay, so by your logic, because this is the only argument you're bringing up, by your logic, you're telling me Luke Voit is better than Mike Trout. And he said, no, I never said that. And I screenshotted both of their WARs. And Luke Voit has a higher WAR than Mike Trout right now. And then he at least elaborated more and made me see his side a little bit more. But at this point, I'll look, if you want to take all the advanced analytics and the sabermetrics, whatever, that's fine. But you got to look at the raw stuff first. And when you have a guy who has the same amount of runs scored as DJ LeMahieu, but has double the amount of home runs and double the amount of RBIs, I start there. And then I'll take in other things if I need to, but I start there. And when I see that, it's Luke Voit all day. It's Luke Voit all day for me. And I hate this guy not for his argument, because I think he made some fair points. I hate him for making me have to put down DJ LeMahieu, because I fucking love DJ LeMahieu. And I think he's a much better baseball player than Luke Voit. But right now, you got to give the nod to Luke Voit if you're going to say who's the Yankee MVP.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's playing on 1 foot. I bet you if you saw him in the locker room when he took his cleats off, he might not even have a foot.
He might not.
He might just be a stump at this point.
He might not have a foot.
I mean, every time you watch the guy around the bases, you're saying to yourself, he's not coming back out there.
No, and every time he does, and I said this to Ryan the other day, when you look at the value he's bringing, and it's not diminishing, it's only getting better, you let him keep going out there, and he doesn't want to be on the IL. Maybe if the Yankees solidify a little more of where they're going to seed, you give him a few days off before the regular season's over to rest a little. But you know what? The guy's going out there. He's fucking durable. He's playing on the broken foot, whatever the fuck it is. And you keep throwing him out there. And you got to give a lot of respect to Voit in that sense over anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, if the Yankees are going to push one guy to be an MVP candidate this year, I think you got to give it to Luke Voit. I mean, he's just been in the lineup day in and day out. I mean, he's had 1 day off in this whole entire stretch. And Ryan cried about it. He's like, "Oh, why you got to say Luke Voit today?"
Yeah, let's think of it like this, right? Let's just say because of COVID, every team could only nominate one pitcher and one position player for the All-Star game if they were going to do an All-Star game. Who would your position player be for the Yankees?
Luke Voit.
It's Luke Voit. Is it not? Again, I hate that we have to talk shit kind of about DJ. But how are you going to tell me it's not Luke Voit?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. MVP and All-Star is kind of a different thing.
I'm just saying we're talking about nominating a guy.
They just the average fan or fucking people who vote on this stuff don't care that a guy has 49 RBIs in 49 games.
Do you know what he said to me? He goes, if you're just looking at RBI, they don't matter anymore. What?
See, that's why they need to change the name of the award. It can't be most valuable player.
Chris,
it doesn't work that way.
You and I are on the same page with this. I don't like analytics, and it's because of stuff like this that RBIs are a diminishing stat, just like batting averages, because it's RBI should almost be more of a team stat, because it who's to say that if player X was player X might have 70 RBIs and player Y might have 100, but player Y might have more RBIs just because of where he is in the lineup and the
I get
guys
it.
on in front of him have given more opportunities. That's not to say
I
player
get
X
it,
wouldn't
but-
have 100.
But here's where they lose me, because you just said RBIs and batting average don't matter, and I agree that batting average does not mean anything to me. But those same people will rip Gary Sanchez for only batting 130, right? So pick a side here. Does batting average matter or not?
The only glaring difference where I give LeMahieu the edge is on base percentage. LeMahieu's OBP is 418. Luke Voit's is 348.
Okay, but here's where I can use the counter argument that Christian just gave me about being in at that point in the order. DJ's been leading off, right? So he's got all these guys behind him. He's getting on base a lot more. He's seeing better pitches. After Luke Voit, you're not seeing as many big bats in that lineup. So
well,
you can use that argument.
He only bats
for
a
the
spot
for the
after
majority of probably the last 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah, it was really DJ and Voit and nobody else in that lineup. I mean, you're going to Gardy and just 3-hitter.
Yeah, but see,
I mean, I don't know what Boone was smoking that he had Mike fucking Talkman in cleanup or whatever the hell he was doing.
That's another.
I mean, I like to see the analytics sheet that said Mike Talkman should be hitting 3 or 4 in his fucking lineup.
That's another thing that the analytics doesn't show, though, Chris. That's a great point, that it doesn't show how certain players are protected by other players, and therefore their statistics are elevated because of that. Because Luke Voit's hitting behind LeMahieu, LeMahieu has a better chance of getting on base.
Here's what I'm going to vow to do, because I think it's important for what we do. In this offseason, I'm going to take a lot of time and really understand these sabermetrics. Whether I agree with them or not, I'll at least try my best to understand them fully, so that if someone comes at me with that kind of argument, I have more ammo at that point.
But here's what I don't like about some of them, and some of the more popular ones I've read up on, because you should really know what they are about. But OPS plus, right?
Yes.
That makes everything on a level playing field. So it takes out ballpark differences, right? Basically, that everybody was playing in the same stadium or whatever. But DJ LeMahieu, to his credit, is hitting home runs at Yankee Stadium because he's learned how to make his home ballpark an advantage for him. Okay. He shouldn't be penalized for that.
No, and I agree with you, because the Yankees, each team, if you have a good general manager, a good scouting department, you're scouting and recruiting these guys and building them and nurturing them to be players that are going to be most effective in the stadium that you play most of your games in. I mean, the Yankees have done it for how many years now?
I mean, if DJ LeMahieu's learned to go the other way and just poke one and porch somebody, like he did against Toronto, he shouldn't get what do you call it? Like demoted?
No,
or
I agree.
Not demoted. Understand what I'm trying to say? Like, that comes with being a smart baseball player.
Absolutely, and that's where they lose
you got
me.
Assholes like Aaron Hicks out there that just want to fucking pull everything.
Yeah.
Like, if Aaron Hicks learned to go the other way, he's got a double waiting for him every friggin' time, because no one's playing on the other side of second base when he's up, because everybody knows all Aaron Hicks wants to do is pull the ball, especially at Yankee Stadium when he's batting left-handed. So DJ LeMahieu should get rewarded for playing to the dimensions in your own ballpark and learning where the hits are.
So right where
that should be something you should be rewarded for.
Where you just said OPS plus levels the playing field, and that's where their perspective is, the guys who are fighting for those types of analytics. In our perspective, it actually doesn't level the playing field. It actually doesn't at all. I think that the smart baseball players are going to adjust to their ballpark. And I think the good baseball players who are able to do that are going to utilize that skill. And it really doesn't. But anyway, end of the day, are you in agreement with me that it would be Luke Voit over DJ at this point?
Yeah, I mean, and it's not to knock DJ LeMahieu. I love the guy as much as anybody, but I mean, if the Yankees were allowed to push one guy as an MVP candidate this year, I think it's got to be Luke Voit.
Right.
See, I define the term MVP as the most valuable. I know that's not how it's measured, but if you're talking most valuable, I mean, every single night Luke Voit was carrying. So was LeMahieu, but
yeah, but just look at the RBIs and the run scored. I mean, at that point, I don't care where you're batting in the lineup. Luke
The
Voigt's
guy
driving
leads
in
Major
fucking
League
runs,
Baseball.
man.
He leads Major League Baseball in home runs, especially in a season when the Yankees, everybody landed on the IL except for this guy, and he doesn't even have a foot.
He has the same amount of home runs he had all of last year. He played 118 games last year. He's played 49 so far.
Here's where Ryan's right. There should be 2 awards: most valuable player and best player in the league.
Yeah.
Because if you want to say best player and then you want to tell me DJ LeMahieu, fine. But when you're talking about value, it shouldn't be based off of where they are in the lineup and if this guy were in the lineup here. No, it should just be based off of production. Right? Give me production. And at that point, you're talking about a guy who has 2 times the amount of runs batted in. I don't care where he's in the lineup or who's ahead of him. That's your most valuable guy. If you want to have that argument, then bat DJ fourth and let him do what Voit did. Mm-hmm. But you're not there. So when you're taking most valuable, you have to look at the raw statistics. When you want to talk about who's the best, then fine, you can go into the sabermetrics. And you can say, okay, well, really, if you want to look at the best, you have to level the playing field. And he would be the best. But who's the most valuable to the Yankees? Luke Voit. I'm looking at it. I'm staring at it right now. He's produced the most runs. He's hit the most home runs. And he has the same amount of runs scored as DJ LeMahieu. So that's it for me.
I get it. RBI, there's runners on base, and, that's not a fair stat, but you still have to drive them in. Barry Bonds was taking steroids, but he still had to hit 73 home runs. Like, it's still impressive.
Bombs.
It's still impressive just because people are on base. He's still getting it done.
And his head got so big.
I loved it.
Well, unless there's some of that Simpsons tonic that Ken Griffey took in that episode down in Scranton, we know whose head is not getting big driving in runs at the major league level, and that's Miguel Andujar.
Demotion bad. Miggy mad.
Yeah, I mean, we discussed this last week when we were talking about Judge Stanton and Urshela and all these, everybody coming back, and I think we nailed 2 of the 3. We said it was going to be Nick Nelson, who gave up like 84 runs tonight. Ford, who is gone, and so is Estrada, and who should really, now that I think about it, Estrada should be here because Tyler Wade is useless. He's absolutely useless. Ryan's just sitting this one out here because he doesn't want to say anything bad about it.
I gotta say though, Tyler Wade, when we're talking postseason, I have a different outlook on him. I think he's a very valuable
nice
player.
Tag down at second though. He's a plus defender.
Oh, he is for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he had a rough weekend in Boston.
Cutie tail.
He's K.O.
All right, we're going to ignore your idiocy right there. And so
kid.
Miguel Andujar was a surprise there that he got sent down. And I don't remember, did I bring that up? Because there might have not have been a lot of at-bats there for Andujar once these guys came back. I thought it was a possibility. If I didn't say it on the show last week, I definitely thought it was a possibility. But this is Miguel Andujar's agent after the demotion, and quote here, for him to not be playing Major League Baseball games at this stage of the year, especially after he's just demonstrated that he's physically still capable of giving a higher level higher than average production, it's extremely frustrating not to be suiting up every night in New York. Although his dream from the very beginning was a dude in pinstripes that doesn't take priority over just playing baseball, Miguel Andujar should be playing for a major league team in a major league game tonight.
Hey, I can't argue with him. I really can't. I mean, if Miggy was getting sent down and playing in professional baseball games right now, man, I'd still have a problem with it. But at this point, again, at this point in his career, at this point in the season, how could you not want Miguel Andujar at least off the bench instead of a guy like Nelson or King? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't really have a problem with the demotion because I don't think there's going to be a lot of at-bats for him.
Plus, you're a Yankee apologist, so.
I'm not a Yankee
apologist. I'm just
apologist.
kidding.
I don't know what he's doing down there. I'm assuming that he's probably playing in sim games. He's probably getting more work down there than he would be sitting on the bench or wherever they make people stay during COVID in some of these games. It sucks. Especially that he turned the season around. And he had gotten hot, but now we used to debate did Clint Frazier have a future with the Yankees? Now we have to really sit there and think, does Miguel Andujar have a future with the Yankees?
Are they trying to protect him at this point? Are they trying to say, look, you gave us all the value we needed to build you up, and he could be a huge trade piece, especially like you said, Frazier doesn't seem like he's going anywhere anymore. Are they protecting themselves here with Miguel Andujar? Or are they truly just trying to get him as much work as possible because they do expect him to be on this playoff roster? I mean, to me, the move makes sense until you look at your other decisions and you look at the other players who are here now. And I don't think when a guy was as hot as Miggy got, I don't think it hurts to send a guy down like Nelson and keep him on your bench and still find him at bats. You know you're going to be resting guys like Stanton a lot, and down the stretch here now you're going to be resting Sanchez and you're going to be resting Judge. You're going to find those at bats for him. You absolutely are. And that's where I understand the frustration in his camp. I do.
I mean, if he doesn't want to play here, get the fuck out.
Yeah, listen.
I don't have time for that. I don't have time to hear that shit, though, to be honest with you.
To be fair, that's not his statement. It's his agent's. We've seen guys like Scott Boras make those calls all the time. And that was not from Miguel Andujar's mouth.
Last 15 games for Andujar, 14 for 45, 5 ribbies, 1 dinger. That was 311 batting average, 354 on base percentage, and a 467 slug.
Yeah, well,
So
you know what,
nice
bro?
numbers.
If your representative is speaking out of turn like that, you fire him.
Right.
And I didn't hear that Miguel Andujar fired his agent, so I'm sure he spoke on Miguel's behalf there. So I mean, if you're unhappy, then get traded. I don't care. I don't have time for this. If
this is a business, and it's his agent's job to play the field as he feels is best for his player and the value of his player.
Clint Frazier can act like an adult, and so can Miguel Andujar.
And I don't think Miguel Andujar has done anything wrong.
Yeah, well, when he's saying
Clint Frazier himself made stupid decisions.
Yeah, well, this is not I'm telling you right now, him and his agent had to have a conversation before his.
I'm not saying they didn't. I'm not saying they didn't. But ultimately, if your agent says to you, "Look, I need to make this move because it's going to put you in a better position," in whatever strategy the agent has in mind, then you listen to him. That's what you pay the guy for.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you right now, Miguel Andujar, you wanted to hear that Frazier was blocked, and now he's not blocked anymore. Andujar's blocked. Where is he playing?
Yeah, and like I said, are the Yankees protecting themselves now because they sent him away with his value at an all-time high over the last 2 years?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's an all-time high, but
it is though, because in the last 2 years he hasn't played.
He can hit again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He can hit again.
He didn't play all last year. Now he's showed he could hit again. Okay, see ya. Now every team out there is like, shit, I kind of want Miguel Andujar.
All right. Well, the point being is that he sucks in left field.
Yes, sucks.
And Clint Frazier is going to be your left fielder next year.
All-star. He turned into an all-star fielder. Unbelievable.
Adequate.
No, he's been phenomenal. He's been phenomenal.
He's not going to win a Gold Glove out there.
He's been phenomenal this year. And we brought this up to Gardy, but I did want to bring it up real quick.
Ryan's got the fucking run in there.
because Frazier has solidified himself, does that open up the possibility of the Yankees picking up Gardner's option for next year and giving him the proper goodbye? Because you're not relying on him and you need the outfield depth.
Get Mike Tauchman out of here.
Yeah, Tauchman, come on. I'd rather have Gardy than Tauchman at this point.
I mean, really, like last year we're sitting here debating like Gardy's expendable because Mike Tauchman, and Mike Tauchman's hitting like 230 with no home runs. The guy can't even hit a goddamn fastball.
And now you have Frazier, and you have an outfield that gets hurt constantly. So I could see the Yankees picking up that option and giving Gardner the proper goodbye next year, assuming that we'll have fans.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible.
And Yankee fans will flip the fuck out, but I'm telling you, it's probably going to happen, especially if they win a World Series this year.
And I've said this before. Gardy's, in my opinion, Gardy's really only here because Hicks had Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
They needed the insurance.
Sure.
I mean, because he was signed before the pandemic.
And are you not going to need insurance next year when Giancarlo Stanton proves time and time again that he can't stay healthy? When Judge is hurt again this year?
But that's another point for why Miguel Andujar doesn't have a spot. Let's think positively that Stan's going to play 140 games next year. Where are they going to be? At DH.
Right. I agree.
And, Gio Urshela has backed up 2019 with a really good 2020. I mean, he's definitely proven that he's your everyday third baseman.
100%.
So, I mean, it sucks. We all fell in love with the guy in 2018. We all think he should have won Rookie of the Year. We definitely think he got jobbed out on that one. But, I mean, think this is how fast things change. You get hurt, somebody comes and takes your job. That's just the way it is, I'm sure Wally Pipp feels real bad for him.
Yeah, I'm sure he feels terrible.
Who
Rays officially just won, by the way.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's pretty much it for the division. And just to wrap up the show here, earlier today, when the Yankees announced the rotation, Garrett Cole's going to be starting Tuesday against the Jays. That'll be his last regular season start. The Yankees gave him an extra day because him and Tanaka heading into the postseason.
Which I like.
So Tuesday and Wednesday for Cole and Tanaka respectively. Those will be the last starts of the regular season. And Boone said he's probably going to start Higashioka behind the plate, which will be, I believe, the fourth consecutive time that Higashioka's caught Garrett Cole. I mean, this is officially a thing now, right?
Fourth time or third? Because I think it's been his last two starts that he's been pretty dominant, and he's had Higgy behind the plate both times. I think it might be his third, but I could be wrong. So Tuesday. So now, while you look that up, Garrett Cole has the opportunity now in this final game to not only really mow down the Blue Jays, but if he has a good game, if he throws a shutout or something, his ERA is going to drop into the twos.
Cy Young,
which is what you like, and he can go 7-3 on the season.
More MVP votes than Voit.
A whip under 1. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you look at when he turned it on too. That's right around the same time he turned it on last year.
If you're looking at a full season, you're probably looking at a Garrett Cole dominance. So you got what you needed, but he's got to take it through the postseason now for you to feel really good about his first year in pinstripes.
Yeah, I don't remember what a reporter had the exact quotes from Boone. I could have sworn I saw 4.
It could be. I mean, I'll try and find it while you fill some time here.
But
did you know that they played together too when they were kids? Here's Garrett Cole and Higashioka. Here's Cole's quote on pitching to Higashioka. I threw to Kyle when I was like 13 and 14, so it's kind of a trip. I think at this point, with the way he's swinging, I might be his personal pitcher.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's a pretty good quote. Yeah, they played. I think they played on some fucking AAU. Sorry, I'm cursing a lot tonight.
It's okay.
On some AAU team.
Wow.
Together for a couple games.
Brian Hoke tweeted that it definitely sounds like this could continue into the postseason.
Well, I'm fine with it because if you think about it, the game that Cole's going to pitch in the postseason, at least the one guarantee, it's going to be against the ace of the opposing staff, and Gary Sanchez is going to shit the bed against the best pitchers
this will be his 4th game, but his first game out of the 4, Garrett Cole got the loss. But he did go 6 innings, only gave up 1 earned run. So it was that 6th inning where I think Estrada had that error, and the game blew up.
Yeah.
So I mean, Garrett Cole's been pitching really well to him.
I do it.
So fuck it.
Not even a question to me.
I mean,
if he throws another gem with this guy behind the plate, then clearly
I'm not saying he can't with Gary behind the plate, but if it's working, why change anything?
Yeah,
because it's Kyle Higashioka.
Yeah.
But I mean, look at the numbers.
I mean, do you really want? I mean, as the Yankee organization, do you really want to throw gasoline on that fire?
No.
You really want to do that?
No.
I mean, the fans are like they're like chum in the water. I mean, Gary's like chum in the water for a fucking shark as it is with these people.
Yeah.
But
now you're gonna throw more in there.
But then you do it, and it works out. Then the Yankee fans love it. If it doesn't work out, then you have a reason to never try it again.
I think in the postseason, you'll see Gary behind the plate.
It's going to be Higashioka in Game 1.
Nah,
if this continues,
you just can't.
And what are you telling Gary Sanchez, bro? That
who gives a shit? I'm sick of this shit with you guys.
But hold on.
What are we going to tell Gary? He's a grown man, guys.
It's not that.
You tell him that you got to play better, or you're going to get benched for Kyle Higashioka.
That I'm fine with, but it's not about that to me. It's about the fact that you're paying Garrett Cole $324 million. He better be able to pitch to any fucking catcher you put back there. And when you line up Gary Sanchez versus Kyle Higashioka, who I'm not putting down, he's had a good year. He had 3 home runs.
You don't pay someone that much to have
the other day, and I know all the Yankee fans think he's better than Gary Sanchez, but Gary's still your guy right now. And if you're paying Garrett Cole $324 million and it's a playoff game, you better have Gary Sanchez in that lineup over Kyle Higashioka. And if you don't, the reason better be because Gary's just sucks this year, and not because Garrett Cole needs him behind the plate. That's all I'm going to say.
That's fair. I don't give a shit about what Gary Sanchez feels about it.
No, I don't either.
They do make the move.
He
grow up,
so
guys.
bad. I don't
Miguel
care.
Andujar and your agent, grow up. J.A. Happ, grow up. Stop. You're grown men.
I wish Happ never made those comments, because I have a lot of respect for what he did this season, but I can't get over the fact that when he was shitting the bed, just decided to put all the blame on him not getting, getting skipped over the Yankees organization and his option instead of him not performing.
Right, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I don't. It's just that the 2 to 3 guys are fucking expendable, and Miguel Andujar is expendable. J. Happ is not going to be on this team next year. You still want Gary Sanchez to be your starting catcher for at least 2 years, and you're telling him he's not good enough to start in Game 1 of the postseason.
I agree with that. It doesn't give a good message, but at the end of the day, I'm trusting these guys to do whatever they have to do to try and get a friggin' World Series back here in over a decade. And if it means that Gary Sanchez gets his feelings hurt, then I'm all for it.
I think, to your point, and where Christian could have argued and you would have agreed more, would be it makes the Yankees organization look like shit. Like, you're telling me Gary's your guy, but then you're going to sit him for fucking Kyle Higashioka in Game 1 of a playoff game?
Sure.
The Yankees need to throw their best hand out there and let the player fail at that point. And then they can justify letting him go or going with a different option at that point. Gary needs to be held accountable here. And the only way you hold him accountable is if you play him where he needs to play. And if he fails, that's on him.
Look, man, I didn't like in 2009 when Jorge was on the bench for fucking Jose Molina because AJ Burnett was a head case.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Only gave us
we liked it when A-Rod got benched for Raul Ibanez and he hit a walk-off or he hit a home run to tie it and then hit a walk-off.
But that was based on the player himself.
When Molina played, that was Alex Rodriguez. He was the best player on the New York Yankees.
But it was based off of his performance alone. We're talking about now Molina playing because of the performance of A.J. Burnett not being able to pitch to Jorge Posada.
A-Rod got benched because A-Rod sucked.
Yes,
that's Gary Sanchez would get benched because Gary Sanchez
And that's where
sucks.
I'm saying if that were the case, that's why I would agree with you.
He's not being benched because he
don't bench him.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Don't bench him because my ace needs to throw to
don't
Kyle
bench him.
Higashioka.
Don't bench A-Rod because Raul Ibanez.
Here's what I'm saying:
400.
If Kyle Higashioka is going to play Game 1, he should play Game 2 and Game 3. Okay. If you're only playing him Game 1 so that your ace can pitch to him, I don't agree with that.
I agree. You're right. See that?
Boom.
Okay.
See what I did there? I said you're right.
Ryan's very lax in this show.
I'm
just like,
very lax. Really tired.
Yeah, I'm just tired.
We're still hungover from the weekend.
He's got the lean going.
I felt like leaning today because this chair is not too comfortable.
I'll try and fix it for you tomorrow. I got a lot of work to do up here.
Please. But it's comfy if I lean.
Lean with it. Another one.
Speaking of Gary Sanchez, let's see what he does here. Tapper.
You You can't give Garrett Cole a personal catcher.
And I don't think he wants one. And this
No, and it's
with
almost
AJ
a knock
Burnett,
on Cole.
With AJ Burnett, he was literally like couldn't pitch to Posada. And
you think
Yankees,
it's a slap in the face to get Garrett Cole if Kyle Higashioka's starting game 1?
Let me tell you something. If the Yankees came out and said, we are playing Higashioka because we feel that Garrett Cole performs better with him behind the plate, Garrett Cole would tell the Yankees out loud that they can pretty much go fuck themselves, that he can pitch to anyone, and he loves having Gary behind the plate because that's the type of player he is. So that would never happen. Yeah, but yes, it would be a slap in the face.
I wouldn't do it at risk of
pissing Cole off.
Yeah, messing with Cole.
Fuck it. Cole knows he can pitch to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And if he can't, it's on him.
Gardy was on the show earlier. Let's see if he ends the game tonight here.
What did Gary do? Strike on 3 pitches?
Tapped it.
Tapped it, and he ran hard. He ran hard out of the box.
Yeah, he's been running.
He's been busting out of the box. It's like that's like the least he can do this year.
All right. Well, the least we can do is I don't know. What's the least we can do? Not do
wrap
shows
up,
anymore?
please.
Yeah. So Yankees will wrap up this series. They got 3 more against the Jays. Then here we go. Quarantine time. They don't even get to go home. They have to stay in a hotel as they play the final 3 games at Yankee Stadium, because anybody in playoff positioning or still technically alive going into the final series has to quarantine heading into the postseason. So the Yankees don't even get that advantage as they play the Marlins.
So we can actually say the next time we record, all games will be finalized in Major League Baseball, and we can have a true playoff preview.
This is correct.
Yeah. Everyone plays at 3:05, right?
Yes, I don't think there's any Sunday Night Baseball this week. So, yes, everybody will be wrapped up by the time we record.
Wow.
Got
through it, though. Got through it.
I'm shocked.
Well, didn't get through it yet. I should not have said
don't.
that. Dr. Fauci is expecting major shutdowns.
Dr. Go Fauci yourself might shut it down.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up here because Chris has a little homework to do. We do want to get some new merch out. We're gonna pivot on something here. We still will get those Sterling shirts out, but we're gonna pivot on something and do something else first. Hopefully, it'll be ready to go tomorrow. It really needs to be ready to go tomorrow.
I'll have it done.
It's a pretty simple design, but I think it'll be really cool. I think people will enjoy it, so we'll get that going. And I think that's who cares?
Who cares about the game? They lost. Okay, guys.
I just want to see what Gardy's going to do here. I mean, if he stole a turtle.
Guys, I'm mic'd up. I'm at the plate, guys.
Wow, you sound just like him, man.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Not tonight. I didn't.
It's wild.
All right, so I don't know. What do I usually do here?
We wrap it up, and when we come back, we'll be talking about fucking postseason baseball.
Yeah, I know. Pretty wild, man. Pretty wild that, the season that we didn't think would ever get started, next time we record it will be over, and we'll be
damn, how quick does 60 games go?
Quick.
Damn.
And
way too
we'll
quick.
Be talking about postseason baseball, and yeah, pretty crazy. So thank you for listening to episode 194 of the NYYST podcast. Follow the show on Twitter at NYY Sports Talk. Follow us individually on Twitter at Christian_NYYST. Chris?
At Chris Jr. _NYYST.
And at StatGuyRye _NYYST.
That's right. Bookmark NYYSportsTalk.com for the new merch, the fan shop. And I'm out of things. I'm out of plugging things. Go to Manscaped. I'm actually not. Go to Manscaped NYYST20. Get 20% off your order and free shipping. Is that correct?
Free shipping too, baby.
The tagline is your balls will thank you, and so will your significant other.
Yes, and us, and we'll thank you too.
Yeah, we'll thank you too, but not for below the belt reasons.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal for anyone going for below belt. Here's the deal for anyone going forward for the rest of September. If you go to manscaped.com and you place an order using NYYST20, you screenshot it that you used it and send it to us on Twitter at NYY Sports Talk. We will give you access to a free shirt on our fan shop.
Awesome.
That's it. That's it.
So
Gardy didn't want to make the last out, so he walked. So let's wrap up before the Yankees officially lose this game. Stat Guy Rye.
Go Yanks.
Chris, say goodbye.
Peace.